In the shadowy world of cyber warfare, where the front lines are drawn in code and the casualties are often unseen, one decision can change everything. This is the story of Major Dana Reeves, a woman who saw a ghost in the machine and dared to defy an army to save it. Major Reeves wasn't your typical soldier. She traded her rifle for a keyboard years ago, becoming one of the military's top technical consultants. Her job was to analyze threats, dissect code, and predict the enemy's next move. She lived in a world of data streams and encrypted signals, a digital battlefield far from the dust and chaos of physical combat. One morning, an alert blared across her screen. It was codenamed Chimera. A new, terrifyingly sophisticated malware had surfaced, capable of dismantling critical infrastructure power grids, water supplies, communication networks in a matter of hours. It was a digital weapon of mass destruction, and it was active. The source was traced to a remote, fortified compound in a non-allied territory. The intelligence was clear. A hostile cyber-terrorist cell was preparing to launch a catastrophic attack. The order from the top was equally clear: a surgical airstrike to neutralize the threat before it could be unleashed. The countdown had begun. But as Dana dove deeper into Chimera's code, something felt wrong. The architecture was brilliant, elegant even, but it was also hesitant. She found backdoors, subtle vulnerabilities left like breadcrumbs. It wasn't the work of a hardened terrorist group. It felt like a cry for help. She cross-referenced a dozen databases, pulling satellite imagery, communication intercepts, and human intelligence reports. And then she found a name, buried in a forgotten file: Layla, a 16-year-old girl, a recognized cyber prodigy who had vanished from her home 2 years prior. Believed to have been coerced and recruited by the very group now holding her. The pieces clicked into place. Layla wasn't the enemy. She was the weapon. Chimera wasn't just code. It was her digital fingerprint, her silent scream. Dana picked up the secure line to command. "General, we need to abort the strike. I have reason to believe the primary asset is a civilian, a child, being held against her will." The voice on the other end was cold, unyielding. "Major, we have a direct order. The risk is too high. Chimera goes live in less than an hour. We can't risk millions of lives for one maybe." "It's not a maybe, sir. The code itself tells a story. She's fighting back from the inside, leaving us a path. If we strike, we kill our only chance of stopping this, and we execute an innocent girl." "Your objection is noted, Major. Proceed with your analysis." "But that strike package is flying." The line went dead. Dana's heart pounded against her ribs. She was a soldier. She followed orders, but she was also a human being. She looked at the grainy photo of Layla on her screener, young girl with intelligent, haunted eyes. She couldn't let her become a casualty of a war she was forced to fight. With trembling hands, Dana made a choice. She bypassed her direct command, using a highly classified emergency channel to reach the Secretary of Defense directly. It was a career-ending move, an act of insubordination that could land her in a military prison. "Mr. Secretary, this is Major Dana Reeves. I am formally challenging a lawful order. Strike Order Delta 79 on the Chimera target is a mistake. The asset is not a terrorist. She's a hostage, a child named Layla. I can prove it." On the other side of the world, in a dark room illuminated only by the glow of monitors, Layla was running out of time. Her captors stood behind her, their threats a constant hum in her ear. They thought she was putting the final touches on Chimera's launch sequence. But with every line of code, she was weaving a complex puzzle, a digital lifeline she hoped someone, anyone, would find. Time was ticking down. The fighter jets were screaming toward their target. Dana had mere minutes to convince the highest levels of government to see what she saw. Not a target on a map, but a human life in the balance. She frantically worked, isolating the fragments of code Layla had left behind. She decrypted the hidden messages, revealing snippets of Layla's own diary. Her fears, her desperate attempts to sabotage the malware without her captors noticing. She compiled it all into a single, undeniable data packet. "Mr. Secretary, the proof is on your screen now. The malware's core command is a classic if-then statement. If the system detects a specific non-military satellite frequency passing overhead, the 1-hour strike monitoring satellite uses it will trigger a self-deleting protocol. She's trying to use our own attack to destroy her work. She's betting on us. We can't let that bet fail." Silence. For what felt like an eternity, the only sound was Dana's own ragged breathing. The countdown clock on her monitor showed less than 5 minutes to impact. Then, a new voice came onto the channel. It was the general, but his tone was different. "Major Reeves, stand down. The strike has been aborted. Repeat, the strike is aborted. We have a new mission. We're going in to get her." Relief washed over Dana so intensely her knees almost buckled. But the fight wasn't over. A special forces team was scrambled. Their new objective, a rescue operation. Dana became their eyes and ears, guiding them through the compound's digital defenses, which Layla had subtly weakened. "Main entrance is a no-go team." Dana's voice was calm and steady in their earpieces. "But she's opened a service conduit on the north wall. Heat sensors are looped. You'll be blind to their systems for 90 seconds. Go now." Dana watched through satellite feeds and drone cameras as the elite team moved like shadows, breaching the compound. She disarmed digital traps, rerouted surveillance feeds, and opened electronically locked doors, all just seconds ahead of the team's advance. She was a ghost in the machine, battling Leela's captors in a silent digital duel. Inside, the team found Leela huddled over her keyboard, tears streaming down her face as she realized she wasn't about to be blown up, but rescued. The operation was a success. Leela was brought home, and the Chimera threat was dismantled from the inside out. Major Dana Reeves never received a medal for her actions that day. Her insubordination was quietly swept under the rug, but for her, the reward was far greater. A few weeks later, a simple, encrypted email appeared in her inbox. It contained no text, just a single, looping animation of a small digital bird, finally breaking free from its cage. Dana smiled. In a world of black and white orders, she had chosen to see the shades of grey. She had listened to the ghost in the machine, and, in doing so, had reminded an entire military apparatus that behind every line of code, behind every threat, there might just be a human being waiting to be saved. And that's a mission worth fighting for. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more.